Hey there, Bible buddies. I've got another review for you today. And as you can probably already tell, this isn't going to be a vintage Bible. This is going to be a modern printing of a Bible. And it's going to be at least a vintage translation, so I can say that. I'll have some comparisons at the end of the video to a vintage version of this Bible. But I did want to do a review on it just because it is a translation that is loved by so many, and it's a Bible that came out and was kind of highly anticipated. So I figured I would throw my review prowess, as much or as little as that may be, into the mix here with a review. So, as you can tell by the logo, this is a Schuyler, and this particular edition is the Quentel RSV with Apocrypha in Firebrick red goatskin, and it's the Full-Yapp edition. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you this. I'll show you the box like I usually try and do with these Bibles if I have the original box for them. So this one, Evangelical Bibles, just dropped a couple days ago. I just got mine in pretty quick. I did not opt for the quick shipping, but thankfully I got it pretty quick. And when you open it up, you'll see there's no Bible here. I have it off to the side. I already took it out of the wrapping just to save time. But I did want to show you that it does come kind of in that standard wrapping that's with all of their Bibles as you get them. You also get kind of their standard ephemera here, their little business card, and their little, kind of info on their Bibles that they provide with every edition. So, go ahead and get that put away, and then I'll bring the Bible on the table here. So like I said, this is the Firebrick red version in the Full-Yapp. And I did a poll kind of a while ago because everybody was really anticipating this model and this edition. And the name that got the most votes on the poll that I did was the Cardinal. So I think I'm going to try and press that name. So maybe this can be one of the greats, like the Judge or the Eagle, one of those. So I will lovingly refer to this one as the Cardinal from here on out, I suppose, if I can remember. But you can see that this is a very nice deep red color. I think Schuyler really knocked it out of the park with this. Their Firebrick reds in the past have been nice, and this is certainly no exception. It is a very deep brick red. I don't know how well it's going to come across on camera. I don't want it to kind of come off as pink or anything like that. But so let's go through it like I normally do. You have here in the front, you have the debossed logo for Schuyler. You also have a little perimeter line that goes all around the edge, and you also have perimeter stitching. You might be able to see it there. It is red perimeter stitching. There you go. And then on the spine, we have Holy Bible, Revised Standard Version, and the Schuyler logo. These are not pressed on. I don't know. The Schuyler logo doesn't feel pressed on. It might be. It's very lightly, if so. The others are kind of deeper. And then you do have some raised ribs there. There's 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, yeah, 6. The one thing I thought was kind of weird, I kind of liked, but then I thought I wish they would have done another one, was they have the perimeter line that goes here, and then it stops on the spine, and that's pretty standard for Schuyler. I just wish that, I do like here how the raised hub kind of is in line with that line. I wish they would have done another one on the bottom. That would have been super cool. Like maybe just raise the Schuyler logo up a little bit and then put one last hub here for a nice 7. On the back, there's nothing. The model, the one that I got, is very nice. The leather's in great condition. I don't have any cool marks or anything like that. I do prefer the cool marks if they have a big stripe or something like that, like a fold in the skin. And I've heard that if you're nice enough to email them, they will try and kind of pick through a couple and find you a special one there. Probably should have done that, but when we open it up, you can see that there is the gold perimeter line on the inside. Schuyler did fold these corners. Normally they do a cut corner, and I certainly like the folded corners much better, and they did an excellent job with these. It does say goatskin leather cover, and this is, I'm not sure actually what the material is for the liner. It's very soft leather. I mean, the cover overall is a very, very, very soft cover. Very buttery, as everybody says, but it's very flexible, very soft. Extremely nice quality cover here. You can see a little bit of the kind of the logo, kind of the press logo on the back here. No big deal. On the back, more of the same. I'll show you the corners there. Corner work is very nice on these. Kudos to Royal Youngblood. Also, another thing that I wanted to point out, there are red head and tail bands. But what I noticed let me see, I'm going to get a better view here. What I noticed is that other Bible producers will not do a one-piece liner, and Royal Youngblood here has done a one-piece liner. You'll see with some Allens, usually what they'll do is they'll do a two-piece liner. So the front liner will be one piece of leather, and the back liner will be another piece of leather, and then they'll split it right here. And then usually what Allen does is they put a little kind of I hate to say it, but it's tacky. It's just like a little like leather tab that they put over top, and it just looks, just makes it look cheap. I don't like that at all. I think if you're spending this much money on a Bible, you should be doing it as they did here, and do it as a one-piece leather liner. Now I have seen Thomas Nelson, they also do a two-piece, but they don't put like a little leather tab, and even that looks better than having that little cheesy leather tab. They just have like a little, like a clean line, and then it meets up very nicely. So at the very least that, but this is certainly for this price point, I would expect this a one-piece leather liner. There is red under gold art gilt, and you can see the gold here is gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 right? It does come with 3 double-sided satin ribbons, Beresford ribbons. Very nice quality. Down here all over the bottom. Burp, burp, burp. And we'll go ahead and get into the Bible. This is a, sorry, before we get into the Bible, this is a edge-line Bible. You can see the leather tab here. And then this is a synthetic material here on the end sheet. All right, and opening it up, we have the presentation page. It's a little stiff, sorry, I haven't broken this one in. Normally I do a librarian breaking on these Bibles before I do the review, but I have not had a chance to do this one yet. So we'll just kind of run with it. And you guys can kind of see how it'll be out of the box, you know, as far as like staying open. So here's your presentation page. You have a marriages page. Your births and your deaths. And the Holy Bible title page here. And your second title page. Let me zoom it in here so you guys can see what it says. It says the Holy Bible Revised Standard Version containing the Old and New Testaments with the Apocryphal / Deuterocanonical books. And then Schuyler's logo. And then this is a Quentel series Bible. It's published by Schuyler Publishers in Virginia, USA. And there's their website there. You can tell it's got a red under gold art gilt, so here's the red. It's more of a kind of a lighter red. I wish it would have been a deeper red to kind of go with the theme, but I don't mind it. Here's the copyright page. We'll go through all that. If it focuses, there you go. You guys can just pause it if you want to read it. One thing I did find that was interesting, somebody had pointed this out in one of the Bible groups, but this little logo here, I guess it's responsibly sourced. So it says from responsible sources, and then it has like a certification here. I'm not too sure what that means. Again, I probably should have looked it up in preparation for this video, but maybe I'll annotate it down below in the description and let you guys know what that means. Then we have our table of contents, and you can see the Apocryphal / Deuterocanonical books there at the bottom, and you have Tobit, Judith, Esther, Wisdom of Solomon, Sirach, Baruch, the Letter of Jeremiah, Prayer of Azariah, Susanna, Bel and the Dragon, 1st and 2nd Maccabees, 1st Esdras, Prayer of Manasseh, Psalm 151, 3rd Maccabees, 2nd Esdras, and 4th Maccabees. So it's got quite a bit there. We'll go through it. And here's a preface to the Revised Standard Version, and you can see some of the drop caps here that make this edition so unique. Now, I'm not sure if they plan on moving the drop caps over to all the Quentel series, or if that's just something just for this RSV edition. At least I haven't seen anything online that specified anything contrary to that, or, you know, in support of that. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Then you have a list here of the books of the Bible in alphabetical order with their abbreviations. And it continues to the next page there. And then you have the Old Testament. And the first book of Moses, commonly called Genesis. So we'll take a closer look. You can see the drop cap. Now that is a 4-line drop cap. Obviously, the more lines that it goes down, the bigger the drop cap is going to get. This is a 4-line drop cap. I think akin to the Traveris also was a 4-line. Don't quote me on that, but it's a good size. I don't think it's too overpowering on the page. It is a nice size. And you can see at the bottom are all the footnotes and the cross-references there. A good little suite. And it is a double column paragraph edition, which is nice because the RSV originally was a double column paragraph back in the day when it was first produced. So it's nice to see that carrying over. I'll flip through a little bit so you guys can see the drop caps. Now the drop caps are the beginning of every chapter. They're quite nice. Here, I'll try and get a closer view here. Hopefully the camera will pick up on them so you guys can see them. There you go. Now this particular edition uses a 10-point Milo font for all the, the main text. And then this font that it uses for the drop caps is called Fleur Corner Caps. Now I'll probably put a link down below if you guys for whatever reason are interested in getting a hold of that font for yourselves to use Like say if you just like it and you want, to dress something up like a birthday invitation or wedding invitation, and you like that that drop cap font that they use. So I'll leave a link down below for it as to where you can find it. It's a free font that you can download. And then you can see they put the page number in the inner corner here, or in the gutter, and then on the outer corner they put the book name and the title and the chapters that it goes through. And they even have this nice little, I'm sure you guys have already seen it, but the nice little decorations here. I love that. Just the little, maybe olive branches or something that it's representing. I'm not sure, but a nice little design detail there. Let's flip through some bigger sections here. Now the paper, you can see the paper here. It's a 28 GSM paper, and there is quite a bit of ghosting. I mean, I'm not one to really be bothered by ghosting unless it's, maybe a couple steps worse than this. So this is kind of within my realm of, operating, my realm of comfortable reading. So it's not too terribly bad, but the paper is a little on the thin side. I really would have preferred that they stuck with a 36 GSM paper. It would have just been kind of a nicer presentation overall, but this is not terrible. Let me try and see if you can see some of the kind of the show through there. It is line matched. At least it has that going for it, so that'll kind of mitigate some of the show through there. And let's get to some poetic books. There you go. There's Psalms. Wonderful. And this, I mean, it just looks so great the way that they've done this layout on the RSV. It's very clean. They've done a great job here honoring the RSV translation with this. Looks amazing. Let's get to the New Testament, and this is a black letter text, so there's not going to be any red letter, but we'll get through it. Oh, I've gone too far. Let's go to my favorite, Matthew 5 and 6. Yeah, man. Keep dancing all around it. So there you go. You can see that it is certainly. It is certainly a black letter. There's no red letter text, but it looks good nonetheless. Yeah, man. All right. And then let's see the page that splits the end of the New Testament and the Apocrypha. See, another problem with this 28 GSM paper, I find that it's a little hard to turn sometimes because it's so wibbly wobbly. Here we go. Right there. All right. So there we have the apocryphal / deuterocanonical books. And you have a table of contents there. And it gets right into it with Tobit. So we'll flip through some of these real briefly. And we'll get back to the back and take a look. I would imagine it's just going to be the standard maps here in the back. I don't think that there's... Ooh, there is. There's a little extra. We have the concise glossary and concordance at the end here. And it's a 3-column. I'll give you a brief little fly-through there, fly-by. So you can see. I did not measure this font, but give me 1 second and I will grab my measuring tool and I will measure it for us. Alright, so I got my measuring tools here. We'll start with maybe the font size here for these, the specific words. And it looks like it is equivalent to maybe an 8.5? No, about an 8. So this is an 8 point in comparison to Times New Roman. And then we'll do the other side here. It continues to be an 8. Yeah, it looks like it's an 8 point all around. Maybe a 7.5, maybe slightly smaller for the text here. But around an 8 point font for this text. And continuing on, we get to the Bible maps after the concordance. We have our Bible maps. And there's your listing of maps. And these are just the standard Schuyler Bible maps that come in all of their editions. I love these because they're on a non-glossy paper. Makes it very easy to read, very easy to write on if you're so inclined. The only thing I did notice on this map, it's not split. I wish they would do that instead of the map going into the gutter here. I wish they would just kind of split it like Alan does. They split the map and pull the gutter back a little bit, so it's like a little white space in between here, and it just makes it easier to deal with the map. And then we have, ooh, at the very end, a little bit more. We have an index to the maps. Excellent there, and I'll measure these too. You know, these are small. Looks about like a 6.5 point font in comparison to Times New Roman. So it's fairly small here on the index, but I would imagine this is going to be something that's going to be heavily used by most, so it shouldn't matter too much. And then you have some blank pages here in the end, one blank normal sheet of paper, and then a few blank pieces of cardstock, four sheets of cardstock kind of, because this is the one where the tab comes in. So you have a few empty spots there, and then the end of the book. So there you have it, the Schuyler RSV Quentel. Let me do a couple of comparisons right quick. I know this video is getting a little long in the tooth, so I'll try and make it quick, but no promises. So the first one I have is a comparison to a normal Quentel. This is an NASB Quentel. We'll take a look at it. And the first thing I can see here is it looks like, maybe not, the ribbons might not be a little bit longer, maybe a slight smidge shorter on this one than on this one, but let's open it up. I feel like that's a minimal point. So open it up. And this is just a 28 GSM NASB Quentel. Alright, so there you go. You can see it looks like the Quentel here on the right, the NASB, the font looks just a hair bit larger. And if I had to guess, I think that this is an 11 point. Again, don't quote me on that. I'll annotate it in the video if I'm wrong. But I think this is an 11 point, and this, again, is a 10 point Milo. So you can see it's a slight bit different here. It's a little bit larger. So it looks here like the outer margin is a little bit wider on the original Quentel, and it's a little bit more than 1/2 inch, whereas on the RSV it is a little bit more than 1/4 inch. So yeah, there's a little bit of a difference there. You have slightly better margins on the original Quentel. Now the thing is though, the column size is different. So I know a lot of people have complained with the Quentel that it kind of tends to be jumpy because the lines are so short. You're like da 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 da, and then da 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 da, and you kind of get cut short on your line of reading. And it appears that would have been fixed here because the lines are just a hair longer, and it makes it just a little smoother to read, and you know makes the flow a little bit smoother. So that's a comparison of the text. The size again, actually the page size. This is I don't think I mentioned it, but this is a 6x9 page, the RSV, and it looks like it is right about the same as the NASB. So we'll do a size comparison right quick. You can see obviously it's a little bit bigger, the RSV, only because of the Yap. Let's try and line it up. I don't know that you can really tell that on camera, but it's really just the Yap overhang. As far as the text block is concerned, they are the same size. It looks like width and height there. And it feels like the RSV is a hair thinner. So I'm not too sure why, because the RSV has the Apocrypha. I don't know if there's a GSM difference between the paper. If there is, again, I'll annotate it in the video. Let me move on. So the next one I want to show you is a comparison between the RSV and the Canterbury Full-Yapp. Now, this Canterbury is the second printing, which I'm not super crazy about. I mean, yeah, I wasn't super crazy about this one, only because the spine here is so flat, and it's supposed to have raised spine ribs, but as you can see, it's like totally flat. I don't know what happened on this one. I messaged Evangelical Bibles, and they said that they were using, I guess, I don't know, maybe some new people were doing it. I don't know if maybe Royal Youngblood was training somebody. I'm not sure what the case was, but they basically said, like, there was some new people doing it, so they didn't do as great a job, and I just kind of got like a sorry. But I wasn't super stoked about these raised spine ribs because it was one of their selling features initially when they posted the Full-Yapp Bible, and then I noticed it from the website they removed the raised Full-Yapps. Sorry, not the raised Full-Yapps, the raised ribs on the back. So I'm guessing that enough people called that they felt the need to remove that from the website, so people weren't saying it's supposed to have raised ribs when clearly it doesn't. They're certainly more like spine rib indications, maybe like a la Allen or something like that. But nonetheless, we can take a quick look as far as size comparison goes, and it appears to be the same size. I mean, I wouldn't see why not. Same thickness almost as well. Let's take a look on the inside. We'll compare the drop caps. You only get one. And let's go over here. There we go. So here's a comparison between the two drop caps. Now the drop caps that were used on the Canterbury is a font called Gaudi Initialen, and I'll link that one also if you guys are interested. And I plan to do a review, hopefully, God willing, a review at some point with this one, and I'll go more in depth with it, but at least for a comparison for now, so we can see. So it's kind of the same here. The font looks a little bit larger. In the Canterbury, the margins are a little bit larger. This kind of, I feel like this is more akin to the Quentel, but we do have the drop caps here, and you can see that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line drop cap, and that's why these drop caps appear so much larger, because it takes up 5 lines versus 4. But certainly a different style there. I much prefer these. You can see over here the eye in comparison to the eye over here. I much prefer these drop caps. They're just more elaborate and ornate. These are a little cleaner, which, you know, no problem between the two, and it's a different kind of way of approaching it. But I prefer the ones in the Canterbury and the Traverse. They're much nicer to me. But moving along, the last thing that I wanted to show you guys is, this is a special one. I really want to do a review of this one soon. But if you're a fan of a large print RSV, and you can get lucky enough to find one of these, this is a Thomas Nelson large print RSV. Now, say for some reason you like the RSV, but you do not like Schuyler's execution of it, i.e. an execution of their footnotes and the cross references. Say you don't like them at the bottom of the page. This Nelson would be a great one for you to procure. Now again, you're going to have to try and get this off of eBay because it is long out of print, but I will open it up for you. And this is more akin to, say, like a Cambridge kind of layout. And you'll see here that it's a double column paragraph, but it has center column references. So if you prefer center column references, this would be the way to go, this particular model. And again, I don't know the name of it. It's been out of print now probably for several decades. But this would be an option to keep your eyes open for a large print RSV edition. We'll compare the text right quick. There you go. And the text in this Nelson is considerably larger than the RSV, the Schuyler here. So, just an interesting aside. I will do a full review on this one, and I'll link it in the video whenever I get it done. There'll be like a little pop-up card or something like that, and so that way you guys can see a full review of it. But I just wanted to offer a comparison. So if you are more interested in this sort of layout, you have to keep an eye open probably for an older one of these Nelsons. But if you don't mind your references at the bottom, then this one is certainly the way to go. Whoop! All right. Close that up. And there we have it. So there we go. That is my review of the Schuyler Quentel Full-Yapp RSV. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that cool YouTube stuff. And until next time, Bible buddies, bye!